Welcome back to the channel. My name's Dan and this is Dan's Out and About. Today I want to talk to you a bit about Kyoto. On our recent trip to Japan, we visited Kyoto for 4 days. During those 4 days, we basically visited as many temples, shrines and historical locations as we possibly could. Kyoto was the capital city of Japan from 794 all the way through to 1868. So as you can imagine, it is jam-packed full of historical sites. It was fun learning about all of the historical sites and seeing some of the weird and wonderful things located around Kyoto. When I think about Kyoto, I think about the Gion district, which I will say, side note, is now there's new rules in place for tourists where you can't take photos in certain areas. While we were there, certain back streets you weren't able to take photos in, but now that's extended through. So really do check before you start sort of snapping pics. What I want to show you is some of our favourite spots. Some of them are quite popular, and when you go, they will be busy whatever time of the day you go. And some of them, you might be the only people there, which is always nice. It's always nice when you're visiting shrines and temples, and you can get a feel for the place without having hundreds of people taking photos around you. Hopefully, there's something in there that you can take on your trip and you can include in your itinerary. Right, let's have a look. So the Golden Pavilion is a Zen Buddhist temple, and it is probably the most popular and well-known temple in Kyoto. Attached to the temple is a Zen strolling garden, which is designed to walk around in a circle. Like seemingly most historic sites in Japan, the temple was burnt down multiple times and has been rebuilt. This seems to be a running theme through Kyoto and the different temples and shrines. Everything seems to get burnt down. So we visited the Golden Pavilion as part of a cycle tour run by Noru Kyoto Cycle Tours. We visited with a guide called Yuta, who was absolutely brilliant, and he talks us through the story of the Golden Pavilion and the history and everything surrounding that. There was even a pop quiz at the end, which was quite funny. If you like cycling and you want to head out to a few different spots, some really quiet and some busy like the Golden Pavilion, then these bike tours are fantastic and really good fun. It was an excellent morning. He was a really good guide and had a great time. So I'll put all the links in the description, so if you fancy having a look, that's there for you. So the Golden Pavilion is well worth a visit. It will be busy when you go there, but you know, it's a huge tourist attraction, so there's going to be lots of tourists. The next spot I want to talk to you about is the Fushimi Inari shrine. This is the shrine, really famous shrine with lots and lots of gates running up the side of the mountain. The Fushimi Inari shrine is another hotspot for tourists, so it will be busy when you go there, no matter what time of the day. But if you time it right, it can be less busy. So it's famous for the huge amount of torii or gates that have been donated by different businesses that line the path up to the shrine. It's a really incredible place to visit, and you can get some really dramatic views through the gate. There are also some beautiful statues of the foxes who are the guardians and messengers for the shrine. Historically, images of foxes are very important in Japanese culture, so you can see some really beautiful examples here. So it will be busy, but planning your visit can really help with this. So we decided to go later on in the day, so we went at sundown, so we got some really dramatic and cool views, and we also got to experience it at night. So all of the gates in the temple are all lit up at night, and it looks fantastic. It's really worth visiting at night time as well as in the day. It was a little bit quieter as well. We actually managed to get some pictures where it looks like we're the only people there. It's like an optical illusion, like one of those Instagram and reality. Yeah, we got the Instagram shot, so fuck you reality. This shrine's open 24 hours, so you can go in the middle of the night if you want to experience it lit up and probably have no one around. The closest subway station is the Inari station, and that's on the JR Nara line. The next two spots are a little bit quieter and they're very close together, like a 7-minute walk apart. So if you're gonna go to one, it's definitely worth going to the next one. The first one I want to talk about is the Adashino Nimbutsui Temple. This temple is an 8th century temple dedicated to the people who have passed away without families. It does feel a little bit strange, but it's a fantastic temple to visit and extremely peaceful and it was very quiet on Sunday afternoon when we went, when we were expecting everywhere to be really busy. So there's plenty of other temples, shrines and places of interest close, including the famous bamboo forest, but the temple here does have a bamboo grove just behind it. So we went through and had a look at the bamboo grove there, and there was literally one other person there. When we walked around later on in the day to the bamboo forest, it was fucking packed. So really, if you want that dramatic bamboo feel, then it's definitely worth visiting the shrine, even just for that. It was really nice to sort of wander around on our own, and we felt quite special being able to be in there when it was so quiet. So 7 minutes walk away is the other temple, the Otagi Nimbutsui Temple. So the temple is surrounded by statues. So these statues have been created by amateur sculptors who are followers of Buddha, rather than what I thought were professional. They're not actually that old, but because they're covered in moss, they look really old and sort of gnarly. When you look closer, you can see all of the statues is kind of made in like fun and whimsical poses, and it's super impressive when you walk in there and you see all of these statues together. We spent quite a while wandering around looking for friends and family to see if we could pick any out that looked like people we knew. So I sent a couple through to people that I know who probably told me to piss off. So this particular temple is a little bit remote. It is further up into the hills, but we decided to get a cab up to that temple and make our way down, visiting different temples and shrines on the way down the hills, which was a great way to spend Sunday afternoon. This one is definitely worth a visit. As you can see, it was very quiet. There's lots to see and appreciate, and I think it was like 300 yen to get in. So the Kiyomizu Temple is probably the most celebrated shrine in Japan. It's super famous, and it's built on the Ottawa waterfall. There are multiple parts to visit here. There's the temple, shrine, the waterfall. There's tons of other things to take part in as well. There was just loads going on, but it was fucking packed. This was probably the busiest shrine we went to, including the Golden Pavilion. There was a lot going on, there was a lot of queues, but do you know what? It wasn't so bad. It's not like a busy place in London or in the US where everyone's just walking into each other. Everyone's polite and courteous. Everything moves smoothly. So even if you've got a queue, it ain't that bad. There was also an art installation when we visited, which included a big fucking giant cat in a spacesuit, which was very cool. Obviously, we got some photos with that as well. So the temple itself is absolutely phenomenal. It's built on this giant wooden platform sticking out the side of the mountain, and we've come to learn that there's not a single nail been used to build this, which is absolutely incredible. The history of it is fantastic. It's well worth a visit to just learn something about the structure and the architecture that's behind it, and also obviously everything else that goes with it. As we walk back down towards town, there's loads to do and see. There's tea houses, there's souvenir shops, there's everything in that area that you could want as a tourist. It's definitely worth a visit. Even though it's busy, it's definitely worth a visit. The Osaka Shrine is in the Gion district, so if you're visiting Gion anyway, you can pop in there as part of your visit. It's attached to a park. So in the park on one of the days that we visited, there was a food market and there was loads going on. We were very lucky. We visited during the day and during the evening. During the day, we saw the end of a wedding ceremony, which was very beautiful, and the procession that led out. And when we went in the evening, everything was lit up and it looked fantastic. So this shrine is central in Gion. It is surrounded by the restaurants, shops, tea houses, everything around that area. I think if you're visiting Gion, then this is definitely a place to go, and it's definitely worth checking out. And if you're in the area in the evening, it's definitely worth popping in to see the illuminated lantern. So that's it. So that was just a quick video to give you some ideas of the different shrines and, you know, where to go, what's busy, what's not busy, a couple of little hidden ones. There are absolutely tons of places to go. It's well beyond the scope of this video. If you're visiting Kyoto, it's definitely worth doing a little bit of extra research just to see and find some of these little hidden places. I'll attach my Google map below in the description so you can see where everything is. Everything's marked on there, so hopefully that will go some way to help you towards planning your trip to Kyoto. So thanks for watching. Give us a like and a subscribe. Drop us a comment. Let me know how your trip to Kyoto went. Let me know what you're planning on doing when you go to Kyoto. So we're heading back to Japan at the end of the year. So if you've got anywhere that you can suggest to us, please drop it in the comments below. I'd love to read them. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.